Good afternoon, everybody. Big Mike back here with you once again. Welcome back to Big Mike Talks, where today I'm going to be talking about the rest of the week that was in pro wrestling. Although it's going to be a little short because it's going to be just Rampage for a full review, and then I'm going to give you the results for AEW All In, which I did see some highlights of, and it did look really, really good. So, sit back, relax, get your favorite snack if you want to. Let's do this. This week, I give you the review for AEW Rampage. We start off with the conglomeration. That's Mark Briscoe, Kyle O'Reilly, and Tomohiro Ishii taking on the Beast Motors, Johnny TV, aka Johnny Mundo, and Brian Cage. And this match was honestly a lot of fun. Very well paced, very intricate, but also very chaotic. Like, a lot going on. With eventually the conglomeration picking up the win via the Kyle O'Reilly armbar submission. And as the conglomeration is going to the back, we then get Roderick Strong, who has been on commentary this whole time, ready for his match against the return, although not full-time, which is a little sad, of Fuego del Sol, a guy they picked up during the pandemic when other promotions were not running. And honestly, he was a fun character. I loved Fuego. Still do love Fuego. Anyway, Fuego tried to get some stuff in the beginning, but eventually Roderick Strong wins via the end of Heartache. Now Strong is going up the ramp. Kyle O'Reilly comes out. And they start to argue a little bit. So, definitely going to be interesting to see what happens between the conglomeration and the Undisputed Kingdom rivalry. So, it's definitely going to be interesting. Next up, a match I never thought I'd see. It's Mina Shirakawa from Todo Japan Pro Wrestling taking on Robin Renegade, who is honestly very underrated. In this match, while very, very quick, it was also really, really good. Like, it's hard to explain. Like, definitely some really good back and forth, with Robin fighting back throughout. But then Mina Shirakawa wins with the figure 4 submission, which, alright, yeah, that's an interesting way to finish the match. Then cut to a Hikaru Shida interview saying how she came up short in her bid for the women's title. And last year I walked into Wembley as champion, and I will be again. I will not be an afterthought. I am AEW's ace, and I'm going to show you why. Some fighting words from Shida. I like it. I like she's determined, focused, ready to go. Next up, we got this little interesting tag team match, playa, as the Gates of Agony take on the Iron Savages. It has been a minute since I've seen the Iron Savages wrestle. I know they do on Ring of Honor, but it's good to see them back on AEW TV. And this was very extended squash match with the Gates of Agony hitting open the gates on a boulder, which that was impressive. We then get a promo from Top Flight and Action Andretti, calling themselves the hottest team in AEW, the hottest rising star in Action Andretti, and Lio Rush. We're going to run the Trios division. The four of us have a brotherhood unlike any other. We're going to take the Trios division to new heights. So, little context there. It's Lio Rush, Dante and Darius Martin had a qualifying match against Pac, Claudio Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta to get them into the four-way ladder match for All In. Of course, they didn't make it. We'll get to that in a little bit. I like promos like this. It's about time we push Top Flight as an act. They're so good. And now with their new look, where they're all like pilots, I think it's time they get a little bit more of a push. Then this very surprising main event, as we got the 2/3 of the Ring of Honor Trios champions, Ross and Marshall, the Von Erichs, and yes, that's the Iron Claw, taking on Truth Magnum and Turbo Floyd, aka the Outrunners. Couple young tag teams going at it, and this match really did not disappoint. It was really, really good. Outrunners, silly stuff mixed really well with the, pure wrestling of the Von Erichs. But, of course, the Von Erichs won with the double Iron Claw. It wasn't even a submission. It was a claw into a pinfall, which, that always gets me confused. I always thought the Iron Claw was just a submission. Then, of course, as the Von Erichs are celebrating, the Kingdom come out, take out the Von Erichs. Dustin Rhodes comes in, tries to fight back. Then the Gates of Agony come out, just a big old beatdown. Who comes out and makes the save? It's Sammy Guevara and the Conglomeration. So, Ring of Honor Trios division is definitely getting a bit interesting. Let's see where they go from here. And now we got some results from AEW All In, which took place at Wembley Stadium, which, not a small arena, that's for dang sure. So now we got some results. I am not doing the pre-show, although interesting happenings on the pre-show I will go over. We had Willow Nightingale and Tomohiro Ishii beating Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway. Now, for All Out, Willow Nightingale picks the stipulation of the CMLL Women's title match at All Out. So that's interesting. Then, before the main card started, Saraya tried to hold and her family, actually, in which she's got a big family. They tried to stop the show until she got the respect she deserves. Who comes out to confront her? It's the returning Jamie Hayter. So that's definitely interesting. Can't wait to see her full-time return to the ring. And now we go on to the main card, as in the four-way London Ladders match for the Trios titles. You'll have Pac, Claudio Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta beating the Patriarchy, which is Christian Cage, Killswitch, and Nick Wayne. The Bang Bang Gang, which is Juice Robinson, Austin, and Colton Gunn. And the House of Black, that's Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews. So a bit of a surprise change for the Trios division. We'll see how that goes. Mariah May dethrones the women's champion, Timeless Toni Storm, in which I've heard a lot of people's favorite match. Hook beats Chris Jericho for the FTW title. Hopefully that means Hook and Jericho can stay away from each other for a while. The Young Bucks retained their AEW tag team titles against both FTR and the Acclaimed. But then post-match, they have a stare down with a couple locals. James Drake and Zach Gibson, aka the Grizzled Young Veterans. So that's going to be interesting. Christian Cage winning the Casino Gauntlet match guaranteeing himself an future AEW World Championship. Some interesting entrants. You have the in-ring return of Nigel McGuinness, who has been out. I forget why he was out for so long, but definitely good to see. Zack Sabre Jr. coming over from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Hangman Adam Page, Jeff Jarrett, making his AEW debut, Ricochet. Good to see Ricky in here. So yeah, that was all won by Christian Cage. Will Ospreay beats MJF for the America's title, and then immediately changes it back to the international title. Also returning for this match, interfering, Daniel Garcia. So it does seem like we're getting that MJF Daniel Garcia feud. Mercedes Moné successfully defends her TBS title against Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Jack Perry retains the TNT title against Darby Allin in a coffin match. Post-match, Darby gets a little help from Sting, who comes out of retirement. Although I think that might have just been a one-off. And then winning the title versus career match for the AEW World Title and new AEW World Champion. It's the Yes Man, Bryan Danielson, aka Daniel Bryan. And honestly, this is going to be interesting to see how AEW handles this going forward. Should be an interesting thing to watch. I can't wait. Now, with that done, that'll do it for me. So this week, videos this week are going to be a little interesting. Wednesday, I'm going to give my predictions for Bash in Berlin. Then on Thursday, I'm going to be reviewing, the weekly wrestling roundup. Should be Raw, Power, and AEW Dynamite. Then on Friday, I'm going to be traveling. So, not going to be around for Bash in Berlin's initial broadcast on Saturday. So I'm going to watch that either Monday or Tuesday and then cover it Wednesday. So hope that clears everything up. And until then, happy wrestling, everybody. Peace.